Ever notice a man who reacts to a hefty paycheck, a flashy job title, or public applause with the same calm indifference? That's often a Sigma male. He doesn't chase claps, he builds legacies. And no matter how loud the world gets, his rules don't bend. The Sigma male is immune to the seduction of the spotlight, not because he's shy, but because he's engineered for something deeper than surface validation. He's not here to be seen. He's here to build, move, and disappear when the noise gets too loud. His loyalty isn't to popularity, it's to principles. Sigma males don't rebel to look cool. They revolt inwardly by refusing to play the game everyone else calls success. They guard their time, their energy, and their mental clarity like assets. When the world says, do this to belong, the Sigma says, I'd rather build my own belonging. These men don't yell their standards, they live them so clearly that the world adjusts or disappears. Cross his lines and he won't argue. He'll vanish. That's not cold. That's calibrated. Here are the 10 non-negotiables, the unbreakable boundaries a Sigma male never crosses, even when it costs him comfort, attention, or acceptance. 1. Swapping independence for a fatter paycheck. Money without freedom is a cage with velvet bars. Sigma males see right through high-paying traps disguised as opportunity. Offer him a six-figure salary that demands his mornings, his location, or his peace, and he'll walk. Freedom is his default currency. He'll choose low-budget freedom over high-budget slavery every time. He'd rather create 10 income streams that let him wake up when he wants, travel when he feels like it, and work on projects that don't drain his soul. He's not lazy. He's lethal with time. And when the price tag includes his autonomy, the answer is no, even if it shocks the world. 2. Sacrificing mental health to appear strong. The Sigma doesn't equate silence with toughness. He doesn't fake fine for applause. He studies his internal landscape like others study market trends regularly, with precision and without shame. If he senses burnout, he pulls back. If his mental clarity fades, he resets. Long walks, cold showers, booked weekends with nobody. Whatever it takes to keep his mind sharp, he does it. While others drown in the hustle Olympics, the Sigma understands one thing clearly: a broken mind can't build anything lasting. He doesn't suppress, he processes. Because resilience isn't denial, it's design. 3. Tolerating repeated disloyalty for the sake of harmony. You get one betrayal, one. The Sigma isn't heartless. He's just surgical with trust. He knows human error exists, but patterns tell the truth. Cross him once, he takes note. Cross him twice, you vanish from his ecosystem. He doesn't do confrontations. He does exits. You'll never get the dramatic speech, but you'll feel the silence that follows. Trust is currency. He doesn't throw it at cheap vendors. And if harmony demands self-abandonment, he'll choose solitude. 4. Obeying incompetent authority. Titles don't impress him, skill does. And if you wear a suit but talk nonsense, the Sigma tunes you out like static. He respects mastery, not management. He evaluates advice like a strategist. If the source doesn't live what it teaches, it doesn't enter his mind. Call it arrogance. He calls it filtering. Because following blind leadership isn't loyalty, it's suicide with applause. 5. Letting fear of failing kill new ventures. Most people wait for permission. The Sigma builds the lab and runs the test, even if it's held together with duct tape and vision. He doesn't ask if it's the right time, he makes time bow to his intent. New business? He starts small, tests the market, fails fast, rebuilds smarter. He doesn't wait for the stars to align. He burns through misalignment until clarity is forged. It's not recklessness, it's strategic experimentation fueled by calculated risk. He knows failure isn't a verdict, it's data, a map, a mirror. It's not something to fear, it's something to fold into the blueprint. He doesn't fear failure, he fears stagnation disguised as safety, the kind of slow death that hides behind consistency and fake smiles. While others polish their plans, seeking perfection, he's already 3 versions deep into something imperfect but real. And real always outruns perfect when the race is about becoming. 6. Listening to people without real-world experience. Theory bores him. Buzzwords irritate him. Sigma males are allergic to fluff. He wants frameworks that bleed. Tactics that bruise. Insight from people who've bled, lost, risked, won, and have the scars to show for it. If someone hasn't walked the terrain, their advice is noise. He listens, sure, but discards quickly. His time is too sharp to entertain amateurs dressed as mentors. 7. Saying yes to pointless social obligations. Brunch with people he doesn't respect. Small talk with energy leeches. Pass. Sigma males curate their calendar like a fortress. He's not antisocial, he's anti-bullshit. If it doesn't build him, recharge him, or sharpen him, it doesn't make the cut. People call him distant, he calls it discipline. He doesn't ghost, he just chooses depth over frequency. If he shows up, it matters. If he doesn't, you weren't worth the bandwidth. 8. Letting society dictate his definition of success. Fancy suits, staged vacations, likes on a post, none of it moves him. Those things are theater, and he doesn't show up to perform. The Sigma male doesn't measure success by optics. He measures it by alignment. Success to the Sigma is internal. It's the life you live when no one's watching. It's how you talk to yourself when the world is silent. It's peace in the morning, purpose before sleep, and knowing you're building something real whether or not anyone claps. He's architected his own scoreboard. There are no points for popularity, no trophies for being well-liked, just milestones marked by how close he's getting to his vision. So while others drown in comparison, obsessed with who's ahead, who's trending, who's validating, he moves through the noise like a ghost with a blueprint. Not chasing praise, just building in silence, fueled by goals the world isn't even qualified to understand. 9. Compromising values for popularity. He doesn't trend, he transcends. Trends are traps disguised as relevance, and the Sigma male doesn't bite. He sees the loop for what it is, momentary noise chasing mass approval. You'll never catch a Sigma selling his soul for clicks. He doesn't perform on cue or twist his message to fit an algorithm. If silence is the price of staying real, he'll disappear without hesitation and come back only when there's something worth saying. He'd rather be respected in silence than celebrated in disguise, because applause that demands conformity is just disguised control. He doesn't need praise from a crowd he'd never want to join. And he knows that values don't just guide you, they guard you. They're the firewall between your mission and the manipulation of trends. If authenticity costs applause, so be it. He wasn't clapping anyway. And when the hype dies down, he'll still be standing on principles that don't expire. 10. Staying in comfort zones for too long. To most, stability feels like safety. To the Sigma, it smells like slow decay wrapped in politeness. He tracks comfort like a predator because he knows it's a silent assassin. It lulls people into routines that rob them of purpose. So the moment his life starts feeling too familiar, too easy, too scripted, he flips the table, changes cities, cuts ties, rewrites the plan. He's not addicted to chaos. He just knows that comfort zones have expiration dates, and he refuses to rot in routines that reward stagnation. Most people ask, why change what's working? The Sigma asks, is this making me sharper or softer? He doesn't fear chaos. He fears irrelevance. He fears dying while alive. And that fear fuels the fire to start over again and again until who he becomes matches who he's meant to be. Growth demands disturbance. And the Sigma? He doesn't just embrace it, he lights the fuse himself. If it burns, so be it. That's where the evolution lives. On a final note, every boundary listed here isn't just a preference. It's a survival mechanism for a man built to move differently. Sigma males don't reject the world to be edgy. They reject what costs them their edge. Freedom, focus, inner clarity. That's the real wealth. While others trade soul for salary, likes for identity, and inclusion for approval, the Sigma male remains untamed. He's not against you. He's just too committed to the blueprint inside him to follow the noise outside. If you recognize yourself in this, you already know. The lines we draw aren't barriers. They're signals. They tell the world exactly what we won't surrender, no matter the price. He's not hard to understand. He's just impossible to fake.